Johnson.
Familiar name here, Oliver OG. You guys are wondering who his teammate, 2X Belly Boss. That's X-Pon, him, and a player that played in yesterday's hetat2. These guys qualified out of NA West, actually, to the Summit land. And it was their last game of the day. They needed a win. They punched out that win and was able to play on land at the Summit. But now teamed up with Oliver OG, who actually plays a lot of NA West as well. So you can see why a duo like this would form. But sitting here now, they're in zone, but only 69 above the damage threshold. Even if they stay above the damage threshold for this zone, sooner or later they will fall below if they don't connect with more shots.
Yeah, we've seen that happen time and time again. Some teams do better with adjusting their strategies. Others never really seem to find the confidence to figure it out. But with Sales and Vert here. Sales this week. Hard getting his practice in. Alongside Vert, this is a pretty interesting team. Vert's always someone who's like a sleeper pick. Comes up out of nowhere, performs when you least expect him to. Reigns kind of in that conversation. So, like how they're off to a strong start right now. Single Zealand, but we know, Jacob, it does come down to a lot of placement points, right? Like if you can make your end games, you'll be set up to have a smooth day.
It's just tough, even though it looks like they're doing well now. We're just really going to see what the edge of that zone is going to look like. It's not a lot of damage for the amount of time that they're taking, but the longer and longer, just like Curly here, along with Tyler, even though they're a little bit closer, more likely that edge is going to be crowded. You see it pulling towards the north. More than half of it is already in the zone. So if you have enough med kits, chug, you could choose that as your spot, wait for it to open up. It's an investment of your resources early on in the game, but it's an investment that might pay off when you consider that's the lifty launch mountain. That's a good amount of high ground, so it might be worth it in the end.
Half out zone and deep into the run now. Tyler,
yes, it is.
You can see the zone's really starting to add up, though. They only have the big chug there to work with now. Long day and passion on here, 3 below. This is Russell. They have a team. They're fighting while they're trying to move here. This is really important that Day puts some damage down here, so passion can buy a little bit of time to get him to make it off. There it is, be able to cap off, but doesn't take the time to pop his shields. He does it out in the open. This is so risky. Oh, if the team behind him was any more accurate, that would have probably been his game.
I've done it in open sorry, man.
They fell below and almost took active surge. So every 7 seconds, 25 damage if below that threshold. They did just enough to get free. You see Cole Madden, they're taking active surge as well. They have to fight the first team that they see, and this is going to be them. One shot should connect, but both of them drop to 7 or less HP. They get above the damage threshold, but at what cost and for how long? Because now they fall 51 below. One strike at all it takes. There's no knocks when it comes to that amount of damage. It's just straight eliminations, and they're officially on the clock.
This is crazy. Now Cole and Madden, a duo that actually met at the last summit in person, and well, they did well kind of in the practice room, but look at this, coming into heats, you see that the pressure's on right now. It's been a tough game 1, and we'll just have to see what they can do later as the surge ends up sending them right back to the lobby. But Big C, Sky Loves Jesus, heard what happened up top. They saw those elims go through. They thought about going straight for that loop, but Sky ends up falling to the surge. They probably should have jumped into that box and taken the fight, but they tried to play for the heals instead.
Yeah, especially when it's that low of the number in terms of damage, one shot to connect. You do see teams try not to get desperate and try to play very calculated. Not seeing Dash doing the same thing, only 40 above, but only peaking when they have what they feel is a guaranteed shot to connect. And you see them tarping out, using almost a lot of their materials to try to give themselves a safe rotation. You know, when you're on that line for Storm Surge, a shockwave could be one of the worst things to do.
Something starts to focus on. You see Victor V, you see Queasy already positioning for a bit of that high ground. The highest elevated team right now, Acorn and Bolt on the other side. Sitting comfortable as far as damage and activity in this game goes, but taking a lot of damage here on this rotate. Already gone through about a third of their materials now. And a good chunk of their heals.
So if you want them, message me.
A little bit too close to comfort again. The Bolts, Acorn, anything to change, especially if the zone goes further and further away. You know, I talked about the mythics, and the biggest difference in the mythics is when you take down a boss for the actual weapon, it's 100% guaranteed. If you're playing on these mini games, you're getting that bare minimum a gold striker pump. So Virgo, either way, still winning, but 123 below. He needs to start putting this loop to work. You don't want to find too far below the damage threshold. You really don't have heals to deal with this type of pressure, so you have no choice but to go. Now Storm Surge activates. That damage is definitely going to be scary, but they're finding shots left and right up until now. Virgo takes a haymaker. Acorn and Bolts. I said it was too close for comfort, and now you see why.
Yeah, I was going to say, of all the teams that could have been next door, it's a tier 1 duo. Like, that is not the duo you want to just fight box to box, especially with the pressure being on their backs and Acorn and Bolts come up on top. It's Bolts who lands the monstrous opening shot there. Just like that, the entire fight turns around. As we jump in with Victor V with a quick knock here, too. Doing exactly what they promised us. That's making it to end games and positioning up on these high ground positions. They're really trying to define themselves as the high ground team here. Of the entire line, by the way, of the entire region. And that's what's really exciting about seeing Queasy pair up now with Victor V here.
I want Queasy to
No
win.
matter if they win game 1 or they end up in game 5, they're going to go for high ground game after game after game. It's what Queasy's known for, and it's what Victor V is ready to attempt. You see him kind of guarding the backside of the zone, making sure nobody can work around and trying to make any sneaky shockwave plays on towards height. And you see Queasy on the other side, making sure to reinforce their position in the clouds. That way it's not an easy chop if anybody looks up.
You're going to be thinking about it too. You can see that monstrosity of the base in the distance there. As the zone's about to load,
I'm thinking about that.
the direction or the other. We'll see where this is going to end up cutting. It's going straight towards Victor V and Easy there. Very favorable. Aviv and Virgo with the early rotate here.
Queasy's gonna win.
Makes it over the builds. On the outskirts they go. Looking at the wide shot here. The build. On the outskirts.
Queasy's gonna win.
The track record, the history of popping off an end game, and he's almost like
Queasy's gonna win.
has the history of how we view Cole today, right? Just show up, put in the work, do big things in endgame. That's what Miro's legacy was before he stepped away.
Yeah, that global championship under his belt. He's not
The
the only
people
one in
know
the
that.
lobby that can say that. Acorn and Bolts underneath, 400 above. Only 2 players going down, build shirt off, Storm Surge, so it's almost a moot point for a team like that that's so far above the damage threshold. You see a V, Veer above the damage threshold. You see a V, Easy and Vin, a little bit of a fight there, but they're able to catch their balance. Tyler and Curve staying elevated. You can see one player needs to go down. They're still playing with Storm Surge in their mind, trying to go ahead and surprise attack on the Sharkman and Yuz. Even without finding success, they're staying on a momentum.
Sleeping on Acorn and Bolts right now. 4 eliminations, not too shabby. How much more of this end game is left in front of us? 3 players plus remaining here. Comes their way, kind of fighting through the slow ground layer, looking to elevate themselves up. And still, do keep in mind, you have Victor V and Queasy kind of sitting on top, pressuring all the other teams. So Bolts and Acorn making the right decision to stay low and kind of out of that line of pressure. It's working out well for them so far.
Just gotta wonder, when will that time come? If that time will come, because Queasy Vic, they're doing a good job putting pressure down from above. Not really getting anybody a chance to look up. Viv and Veer staying strong at the front side of the zone. This is where their loadout and material count are beginning to look a little weak. Pushing through the build, free edit comes in, another shot's gonna land on the Yuz, but not a confidence building one. Bolts does go down. Acorn trying to save the day here. He does have time, but is it enough to actually get the revive?
I think Bolts just took a little too much storm damage right there. Meanwhile, Tyler, Curly finding knocks and eliminations here on their layer. And already we see shockwaves
I
in their
need them
inventory too, but no material count,
win.
so high ground's out of the question here. This is desperate. Tyler bounces back. No elimination there. They were hoping to get the refresh. And there's a lot of options in front of him. Meanwhile, Victor, Queasy, what's this, 3 or 4 zones worth of high ground hold right now, and it's going up and over the mountain. This is very favorable for them. They might be punching their way out with an early ticket here today.
Yeah, they can easily lead players space and gets another one in the backside of the zone. A much needed elimination. The siphon was important for keeping him alive. Mero's in that same situation, but he has the shockwave up and over, lands one shot on Victor V, but cannot fight that one out. It's just a warning shot from Victor V and Queasy as it continues to go up the side of this mountain. But since they are so high up, they have more than enough time to try to get healed up.
Maybe
Or
I'm
clash will happen at the end of this game.
I don't think Miro will get.
That one on Vert, and then a follow-up. Let's go, Acorn, finding his back-to-back
Acorn.
eliminations right now. And then they get a three-piece. Can he get a four? Absolutely. And that is onto the young prodigy, Victor V there. Victor's trying to scramble on the box. Doesn't want to give him any more than he has to, but there's no pressure. Acorn knows he's got the sight in there too. What just happened?
Bro, what happened was boats went down. Acorn said, yo, hold my chug jug, I got this. And he just went on a frenzy. Almost everybody alive in this game is a solo except for one team. And they might be down below because Queasy, also a solo on the high ground, getting overtaken by Acorn. He has over 500 materials left. Even as a solo, it seems like a winnable situation here. But he has to go through Lehman Veer on the front side of the zone.
Yeah, definitely an excellent showcase by Acorn and take
7
high ground, using
kills.
them shockwaves perfectly, and he is just all that remains. And then he gets another knock. Acorn is just playing exceptional Fortnite right now, but Queasy's still alive inside the storm. Acorn's doing all the dirty work for Queasy. Queasy listening to what's happening here. Acorn now recognizes what's going on, but the siphon comes through. Jace tries to pick up the siphon material, and now Acorn still has to worry about Queasy on the backside of the storm.
Yeah, Queasy has options here. Does he go to one of those many machines, or he tries to interrupt his fight?
I would go to vending machines.
Chug jug left. Jace is literally living on a prayer. Where's the other solo at? Distract Acorn. Do what you can. He's probably screaming ear to ear, but Acorn is holding his own up above, even with those eliminations.
I was trying to go vending machine.
But the chop comes in. He saves himself to make sure he doesn't take that fall damage, and he's the full health player here, relatively at least so. Gets another elimination onto Jace. Two of the greatest IGLs of all time, now going at it one-on-one for a trip to the grand finals.
Well, Queasy doesn't have a lot of HP. Acorn's just fired up right now. A great low ground shot. Here comes the next one, and Acorn does it by himself.
Acorn.
What in the world? I think that was the best plus we've ever seen of Acorn's career.
He just does it again, and he keeps the streak alive of qualifying to the grand finals.
I told you
with
Acorn is going to win.
Game win. He's not
Acorn
here
or
to
Queasy
really
is
play
going to
around.
win.
He's here to prove he is one of the best in the game, along with Bolt. See? Yo! Acorn!
Oh my gosh! Oh, Vivid, I think, was Acorn your MVP on the Fantasy League, by the way?
Acorn was my MVP on the Fantasy League.
Yes! Oh my gosh, you're off on points like crazy. Acorn! Acorn just... Oh, Kelly, was that the best... Like, and yes, was that the best solo clutch we've ever seen out of Acorn?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Acorn, yes, I would like to apologize. At the start of the show, I was talking about how there's these veteran players that fit into the IGL role and they pick up fraggers because they can't get Elam. That is not the case for Acorn.
Acorn.
My goodness, he put that whole game on
Sure
his
does
back,
elimination.
and to just see him
One.
get Elam after Elam, but also to play it so patiently, that is
Two.
really what separates it. We've seen these people get into solo situations and they look like they're just running.
If I make it, if I ever make it to the
So methodical in that in-game
the
NBA,
difference is I want Acorn to be my partner.
Place is when bolts went down, and Acorn went all the way.
I'll probably make it one day, but I want Queasy.
Elims actually happened in that specific one-by-one on the ground, and after that, he just had so many materials. You gotta imagine, right? All those materials that he got. So many elims being right there, which is why he was able to kind of build crazy. But you mentioned it, Kelly. I mean, listen, we were kind of putting a lot of respect on Bolt's name for his mechanical prowess, but Acorn was moving up a little bit.
I want Acorn or Queasy. One more.
Eliminations and a solo clutch for Acorn to win game number 1 of heat number 2. Listen, I am definitely biased about this one, but I am so happy about how that game went for him.
I want him to be my nut.
No, like, it is that
I
one
want him
spot
one
there,
day.
right? Like, where everyone's going, okay, this is like the low ground, we gotta make our way
I
through. Like,
want
this is
him
maybe
on my
safe.
team.
It's not safe. Acorn has just perfectly created a little window of like, come on in everybody, just give me all your materials, give me everything we've got. Acorn, you're just built different, bro. You are just built different. That was game number 1 out of heat number 2. For Acorn and Bolts, we will not be seeing them until next weekend, but that's a taste of what you can expect then. For now, a break. When we return, we'll break down more of what we saw out of game number 2. We'll see you soon.
I'm gonna be back. 2 minutes. Wonder if Noyo's in this. I think that's the boy's name. Noah. No. Main winning that £20,000. Ooh, I wouldn't mind winning that. £20,000 in the bank. July now. Dun, dun, dun.
Fortnite fan. I'm still reeling from game number 1. If you missed out, if you're just tuning in, okay, I need you to go back. Do me a favor. Sometime when you have time, go back and watch game number 1. Okay, watch it like this. Okay, watch it like this.
Yes.
Okay, all right, like this. All right, because Acorn just pulled off one of the craziest solo clutches we've ever seen from him. Okay. They are going to be moving on to next weekend's finals. Congratulations to them. Bummer we won't get to see them anymore today, but that's okay. Good for them because now they can just focus on next weekend's finals. What else happened in that game, though? We saw it kind of come to this 1v1. Acorn versus Queasy. I have to give so many props to Queasy, the way he decided to play out that last bit of the end
Acorn or Queasy's gonna win.
Like, knowing exactly, hey, how much storm of, like, can I actually take? Waiting to the very final moments to try and take this 1v1. Obviously, we kind of saw Acorn also take out Victor V at one point, Kelly, so Acorn playing spoiler to the whole plan, but man, a second place is still very, very good.
Definitely a great game from Queasy there, and honestly, it coming down to the two most highly regarded IGLs in the world and potentially the history of all of Fortnite, having it be Queasy and Acorn in those final moments is just such a beautiful cinematic moment for Heats. But of course, Victor V and Queasy, they are not done just yet. They played that end game pretty well. Obviously, it did not ultimately go the way that they wanted, but they controlled high ground pretty well until those final moments where Victor V unfortunately did go down here a little too aggressive with trying to take all of this loot, and that is one of the risks when you have high ground, right, Vivid?
Yep, without a doubt. I mean, obviously at some point you do have to go ahead and drop down and get some of that refresh, but I would say that this was a very good game for Easy Victory. I mean, you kind of talked about it already, but their control over the high ground, how many times have we seen in a very similar meta that we kind of saw in Mage number 1 with these overdrive grenades, or even in Heat number 2 just yesterday? How many times have we seen high ground kind of change hands in these sorts of metas? But Queasy and Victory, them having control over the entire end game, I think it just speaks volumes to how good they were doing at conditioning the lobby with their position.
So sick, dude. So sick. Taking height as early as 8th zone and only giving it up for just a moment because Acorn was just decided this is going to be my game. I'm going to go absolute sicko mode. Also wanted to highlight here Aviv and Avir. I keep wanting to say Avir. I don't know why. My brain, calm down, brain. Aviv, Avir. Doing really well in this last game, right at 5th place with 6 eliminations. We're currently looking like we're going to target that consistency, which is chill. I'm just excited to see maybe they can pull out a VR. Maybe I'm curious.
Yeah, as far as just one game out of 5 goes, getting this many points is definitely setting yourself up for success. It definitely seemed like they were kind of sticking to the mid ground, which makes me wonder if they were just a little nervous about all the action that was going on in the low ground. As we can see here, Aviv was picking up a few eliminations. Unfortunately for Veer, going down without being able to bring too much, but Aviv with this solo clutch, able to bring in a few more points, a few more eliminations, and honestly, when the end game doesn't go your way, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly, we can't be making points, by the way, about how these IGLs, these experienced players, are picking up these young guns, and then the IGLs are the ones that keep clutching and ending up with all the eliminations. Like, I don't know what's happening today, whether or not it's opposite day, but so far, man, we're seeing these inexperienced players and IGLs perform on a whole nother level.
Today is definitely different, right? Like, I don't know what everyone's thinking the same thing. We got to start preparing ourselves for finals. I also wanted to tip my hat there to the team in 2nd place. Liam and Jace, you guys talked about them at the top of the show, and now they are currently in 2nd place after just the first game. Like, obviously, we still have 4 more to go, but Kelly, this is a really strong showing of Heat number 2.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was just game number 1, which is crazy that we literally got Acorn versus Queasy for game number 1 of Heat 2. Everyone was like, oh, this is going to be the most boring Heat. Maybe not.
Yeah, we had a big Queasy run around as a solo, Acorn run around as a solo, like 2 of the most experienced IGLs in the game. And then you look on the logo and you're like, oh, look, it's Liam and Chase. Completely new to this scene and kind of barely made any FNCS finals. I was like, yeah, these guys, man, they're going to struggle against the experience.
Man, oh man, can Queasy bring it back, right, and get a VR in game number 2? It's time to find out. Game number 2 is ready, casters. Over to you. Thank you, Zeke and Monster. I gotta agree, that being game 1, I'm not sure what other surprises we can even expect at this point, but that goes to show with Acorn and Bullets no longer in the lobby, Frosted Flats has just opened up.
Yeah, you know, it's really good for the likes of the rest of the lobby, right? For us, selfishly, listen, I can check out right now. That was a great clutch. We love to watch exciting Fortnite, and that's what makes these weekends so special. This is what we look forward to on the FNCS stage. So, you know, for me, I feel really good. I'm ready for game number 2 at this point.
No, I definitely am, you know, seeing Acorn go against Queasy. We have Miro in the lobby as well, getting a little nostalgia, flashbacks, but you can't get stuck on those moments because you still have even Victor V playing with Queasy. You have Liam and Jace. You have Aviv and Victor. You have players that are still swinging for the fences to try to get that spot, whether it's through a win or through consistency. And Acorn Bullets is one of those teams where you know they would get in or consistency, so they just alleviated some of the pressure from the lobby. But let's get ready because game 2 is here.
That's right, and for Queasy and Victor V, you know, the job is really not done, right? You still have Cole and Madden in this game. So if you really think about it, the bigger picture, I think this is working in their favor, right? All they need is enough points to be consistent, and then their focus might actually just shift in making sure that Cole and Madden don't make it to grand finals. But I don't know. That could be me just thinking that the bigger play here is that Queasy maybe didn't want game 1 to be overdone that quick.
Practice definitely does make perfect, especially when you're playing in a set lobby against some of the best players in all of land. But this contested fight ended a little bit quicker in that last game. You know, one team taking the low side, one team taking the high side. It looks like Krampus and Louis are just kind of working their way on up. I'm not sure where the confidence is coming from, but they definitely at least have a loadout that they think they can fight.
Yeah, definitely. Have a bit to work with here. Not too many materials though. Shockwave's gonna come out. He's going to be getting the better of the tack. Silo finds a huge shot there on the side, and he lose his teammate in the process, though, so the exchange is not exactly worth it. But all sides are desperate here, as everyone's starting to run out of material either way. Louis crammed to just enough to push in the walls there and get the elimination. So the hotel is theirs once again. Jumping on over to Dan Pash, who has success here early on with their drop. That was all they managed to get last game there, Jacob. Just 6 points here coming into game number 2. We've seen teams, though, fly back up. Yesterday, it was Dozier and Kishu who were around 16th place or so in the last game. Did enough to qual all the way through. I saw an issue tweet there, Jacob, that I think he disconnected. His internet went out, and it was Dozier who clutched up.
Just kind of in these games, depending on where the zone goes, kind of dictates how you have to play certain situations. Right now, the zone's not too far away, so if you go blue, Maj, they can go ahead and continue to fight this out. They know Passion, they've separated themselves a little bit too far from Day, and that's going to use that moment to try to push. Good damage onto Passion. Day has no shields. There's a huge advantage on the other side. Shockwave's coming off to try to cause a little bit of confusion. Passion over beacon, but he still somehow stays alive. Meanwhile, dealing so much damage to Maj and Blue. They're both one shot away potentially from going down with the right loadout.
That's crazy. They gave Passion enough time to actually heal back a bit there. But no, he gets tagged first. He falls right afterwards. No one's got heals, but Majin and Blue have the shots that matter. Just like that, Maji and Blue end up getting the first set of eliminations. A little bit of payback here onto Day and Passion. They've already marked out their opponents nearby. So they're heads up on the situation. Virgo Shadow on the other side. Here at the harbor, nothing to worry about for them. Fully upgraded loadout. Talk about the minigame awarding them this time. It is the Mythic Striker Shotgun in the inventory, so they'll be able to pack a punch.
Yep, just got to be able to kind of position accordingly. Last game, you know, I kind of had that feeling, you know, being a little bit too close to A corner bolts, depending on what the storm surge is like for players in certain instances, you kind of really don't have too much control if you're below that threshold, especially when it is active to jump on board. Victor V. Queasy, second place in that last game. And right now, you see, just continue to be uncontested. That's something that I want to continue to watch. I know we talked about it, Cole and Madden. If they don't necessarily have the most fun time and maybe need a victory royale, they go back to what they think is familiar. Or maybe Queasy and Victor V win this next game and open up the drop spot. Either way, I think there's endless possibilities.
Yeah, I'm thinking Victor V and Queasy want to have another huge, massive game. They're probably going to switch their strategy up and look for these other teams. But hold on. Take a look at Miro and Mason. A game one showing pretty strong, if we say so ourselves. Miro is in that end game fragging out, getting a couple elims there. They pick up 50 points coming out of game one. Not bad for the return to
He always finds a way, you know, just going from relaxing, doing his own thing. You know, there was a moment he was trying to qualify through NA West last year. Didn't necessarily work out. Took a little bit of break, comes back, and now he's kind of swinging for the fences. And it's actually looking pretty good. I think Macy is a perfect duo for him. Somebody who's young, eager to learn, and playing with one of the best players. But this is where you still have these lurk situations all around the map. We saw it in that last game, Steam kind of lurking on a chest. This time around, though, I think it might be a little bit harder because the building is already looted.
Yeah, I was looking at the points for a second, thinking, like, wait, is this the same team but a different building nearby? I'm like, that would be so funny. But it isn't. Meanwhile, Dawn and Batman, team 7 here, pretty good. 47 points for game one is a very strong way to start the tournament runoff. Gotta be careful. There is danger lurking upstairs. You said it's unlikely they go up, but only greed will tell here.
I saw the medkit placed by the window. I'm like, oh no, I've seen baits like this before. But the thing that makes me feel a little bit more lackadaisy is down below there was another medkit, and they just kind of walked right past it. So I don't think that's necessarily going to happen here. You see Cole and Madden. Oh no. Oh no. Is he getting out the window? Did anybody see it? If nobody saw it, it didn't happen. Besides us, of course.
At this point, I saw his teammate jump out afterwards, so hopefully that was a shockwave. Not another. Oh, okay. I was gonna say his teammate followed, but oh, good. It happens.
I like that. Just in case you didn't see it the first time, be like, wait, what happened? What happened? We just gotta show you again. But I don't think that's too strange. It looks like they were in a good position. Depending on where the zone goes, it's going to be my biggest worry about that reboot, because if it continues to pull over towards the west by Calamari Canyon, it's going to force Madden to use some of his mobility, shockwaves, to get outside of the zone and closer to a safer reboot. So we'll see how that one continues to play out. If Cole actually got eliminated, if it was just a mistake that hopefully nobody notices for too long.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. So the bait and switch play is coming in. Batman does go upstairs, and he's greeted with 2 striker shotguns. Crazy and Exhale are there. Just big damage getting put down here, and it's so unfortunate. Look at Sevens Yawn just dips out the scene here. He's like, all right, guys, I don't want anything to do with it.
You got me, you know, just give you one for that one. But again, I think Jan was the one with some of the med kits. So he's not on too short of a timer to try to get his teammate back up. Can overstay his welcome, definitely for sure. Beav and Veer kind of moving south already.
I'll be playing FIFA tomorrow.
Trying to get one of those high mountaintops over towards Calamari Canyon, where the zone is actually going to go. So my question for Cole Madden, I feel like just got a little bit harder. Still relatively early on the game. 84 players still up. So again, we're going to have one of those storm surge stack games here.
Yeah, most definitely.
Already I'm playing Maker.
Central to give us the best. And again,
I would take a Maker.
I meant it when I said that these lobbies have gotten progressively more interesting and definitely more
Take the main.
kind of teams here, like we talked about.
Then take a Maker, I'll be there.
Yesterday's teams didn't have that. Obviously now with Acorn and Bolts qualifying through, it's just one less to have to think about here. But in any case,
Cause I feels good, but
Jared's Fires kind of hanging out right now.
see that's why we did that, but
Team set up here.
that would I now with a see. Or that would I.
Just a very cramped situation there, but if they have the heals, they shouldn't be too worried too soon in this game. Don't force themselves to make any mistakes here. Liam and Jace still sitting on top of the Lifty Lodge Mountain. We know the zone is going over towards Calamari Canyon, so it's not too far away from Liam and Jace, so they can stay here just a little bit longer. They have access to a mending machine down below. As long as they have the gold, they kind of got a ton of options, especially with other teams rotating in from near positions, not just there, but the island and towards the south.
Definitely enjoying the action so far from Percent and Acro, though. We have a single feeling this opponent still sitting on top. Curious as to why Real Seal feels so confident to actually stick around and fight this one out.
Or somebody rebooted.
Disengage with, or he's completely hopeless. We'll find out here.
Shockwaves make it hard for them to land the shot. He squeaks his way in, lands a good amount of damage on the percent. Hey, when you're getting 2v1 and pressured like that, sometimes you're just prone to make a mistake and getting sent back to the lobby. Luckily for them, though, they still got 3 games left on the day. This is only game number 2 if you guys are just joining in. Acorn and Bold, specifically Acorn, a massive clutch in game 1 to qualify to the grand finals. Victor Vequeezy second place, and everybody else kind of falling below them on the leaderboard, including Curly and Tyler. One of our new teams to this major. Curly, just shortly before, was playing with Rise, and we saw yesterday Muzz and Rise qualify to the grand finals. So now going into today for Curly, I feel like in the back of his mind, I at least have to make it the grand finals so that way he doesn't regret that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Jumping over into some more action here. We have
I thought Ranger would have done it.
up against Durst. There's Toby here. We're sitting at the vending machine. He's got plenty of heals here purchased, but the team down low is already kind of rotating on out. So Toby Zurst can dip out if they want to. I think they can ambush a team here though. They're pretty sneakily at the moment. They're not trusting us.
Checking their side alert. They go right down below. You already called it out. There was a team down there already using those teleporters. It allows you, for the most part, to safely traverse long distances as long as nobody else is down there. But too many times watching Fortnite competitive, there usually tends to be at least one team lurking down there, waiting for somebody to make a mistake. So hopefully,
That's a good
decision
one.
that they fall into.
My favorite thing.
Teams still here, zone not too far away, and this is where a lot of teams, just like Dash and Noxy, start to rotate in, even if they're on the line like they are here, not too far above the damage threshold, but they're just trying to recycle and get more of their materials.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do to kind of get back into the game here.
That's a good.
Dash and Noxy still have eyes up on Slay and Stacks here. Everyone's kind of hanging out, taking the beginnings in the middle here. A lot of teams nearby though as well. It starts to look at how the zones will play out. It's going to be a mega congested location. It's not including everyone that's in the store as well.
Nice.
Teams that we've seen as well, 132 above. That's fine for now for this zone. But if this